one of the reasons why we've all gone to these educational institutions that we have is not only to learn while you're there, but also be able to tap into the network. And that is something that I did both with my high school and my college. I think that's the first obvious place to start. So wherever you've gone, I think you can tap into that alumni group and start there and figure out who could be interesting for you to meet. And some alumni offices do a lot better job of facilitating that than others. Whether they've created LinkedIn groups or there are various different sort of community forums. If there is sort of bare bones in place, I'd even just reach out to the alumni office directly and tell your story and say, look, this is what I'm interested in doing. Can you or someone from the office help me think through who I could connect with within this sort of class range from the university or from the high school, whatever it may be. That's the first place I would start. And then I've always looked to people in my network who I admire most, regardless of what they do. I reach out to them to, first off, just ask them to be a sounding board to me as I sort of articulate or try to articulate where I'm at mentally, what I'm thinking through, see if it makes sense. I think testing that out with people in your immediate network first before you get out there is a really helpful exercise to go through. And also see what ideas they have. You never know who someone's going to know, what insights they may have. So that is always another place that I start. Whenever I have made a career transition, I have always forced myself to write down on paper what I do and don't like about my current role and what I think I'm looking for next. And just putting that down on paper is really helpful exercise to go through. And then I would just practice telling that story to different people and testing what resonated. I'd even do it with my family members and just practicing articulating that motivation for a change was very, very helpful. And I would kind of score the roles I was in across a few different dimensions. So I would ask myself, okay, do I want to be in or is this situation today very tactical or is it strategic? And not that either one of those things is bad. It's just could be a personal preference. So I would sort of write down, okay, am I in a transactional or am I in a tactical role or am I in a strategic role? And does that resonate with me or not? And then I'd also ask myself, do I feel like I'm in sort of a low impact or high impact type of situation? Am I in a situation where I'm external and people facing or the opposite? And again, like, is that a good or bad thing for me? And so I'd sort of map out a couple of those different things that I thought were important to me. And that gave me a lot more clarity around navigating to the next gig. I think it's a super interesting time to be a talent leader in the venture space. It's never been valued more. I mean, we are in such a war for human capital, and we are really at this inflection point where there's never been a higher premium placed on it. So I feel incredibly empowered to be in this type of a seat at this moment in time. And you ask any investor out there, you ask any founder out there, what are the top 3 things that keep them up at night regarding building successful companies? And I would bet you every single time, one of those top 3 things is people and talent. And so I feel like what I'm doing is incredibly valued by all key stakeholders around the table, whether it's investors at your own firm, whether it's founders you're working with, whether it's limited partners who have invested in your funds, any stakeholder out there recognizes it's incredibly important. So I think talent teams used to be created and hired to sort of check the box. There are firms out there that would say, okay, we have a talent team now, we're good. And they weren't viewed as strategic pillars of the firm and the work that was being done across the portfolio. And that's that's totally changed. I look at the work that I do with our investors, and we work in lockstep. There is a ton of visibility we have within the firm. There's a ton of influence we have, and we partner very closely together to help build amazing companies. So to give you a more tangible example, one of the things that we're investing in more as a firm is hatch work. So incubating, building companies from 0 to 1 and beyond. And our talent team plays a very pivotal role there because we are helping source that founding team. So there is a very heavy weight that's been placed on the value of talent teams out there more broadly. I think there's still some work to be done. There are some firms who still treat their talent teams pretty siloed, and maybe not as strategic as I think they could. But in general, I think it's a really interesting moment in time where there's a lot more focus and investment being placed into these teams.